pull up a chair. Class is in session. We're going to talk about equine applied nutrition, applied and clinical nutrition. And specifically, we're going to talk about this whole thing. People are like off the rails over me saying that horses don't digest liquid boluses of oil well. So like anything, it's a very nuanced discussion. And even though I try to go through the comments and like say like, yes, this is a nuanced discussion. Here are some things, people are still like, oh my God, this is insanity. Da, 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 da. Y'all, it is a nuanced discussion. Like, come on now. Even within a textbook, they give both sides of the discussion, right? Where some studies, and frankly, guys, whether it's equine medicine, equine studies, equine nutrition on the human side, I can find a study to support any side of any argument, period, right? Because studies aren't like this golden thing that everybody thinks they are. It's just evidence. And the cool thing about science and the cool thing about evidence and the cool thing about taking an evidence-based approach is that as new information comes out, as evidence changes, we learn more, we do better, all of those things. So let's address digestibility of oils for horses, of liquid boluses of oil for horses. That term I keep throwing around. The studies that this particular section of the book are based off of is a Sweeney et al. 1995, Jenkins 1993, Coenen, I believe is how that's pronounced, 1986. That one's referenced a bunch. Hess et al. 2008 is also referenced a bunch. I haven't gone and pulled those individual studies because I trust that the authors of the book did a good job because they present both sides of the information. So when we say that liquid boluses of oil are not digestible, we say that because people like this, who literally wrote the book on how equines digest food, tell us that while some oil can be digested like that, volumes of oil, and it's different for every horse, change the way the horse is able to digest fats. You would not find evolutionarily a place where a horse is like drinking liquid fat out of a vat, right? So we supplement their diet with fat in a way that they find it in the environment. Now, if you want to glub canola oil on your horse's thing, that's totally fine. You do you. Like, it's totally fine. There's no need to get all twisted up and angry about it. And I don't care if it's canola oil or some sort of newfangled, anti-inflammatory oil or not camelina oil. That would be one of those newfangled anti-inflammatory oils. Like flax oil, which is often rancid, any of those things. But the risks, and actually one of the studies, they use soybean oil to test it. But the risks are that the dietary fat, I'm going to read from the book so that it's not, the words aren't minced. Dietary fats escape digestion in the equine small intestine, which means they're not digestible. And when that happens, they interfere with microbial formation in the hindgut. The amount of fat entering the hindgut to create this problem is increased with liquid oil, right? Soybean oil in the case of this study. Keep reading. Evident to alterations of the digestive microbiota, which is the gut microbiome. Also has a direct toxic effect on the rumen microorganisms. Let's see, the type of dietary fat is relevant, whereby certain fats in certain forms have shown to have greater effects than others. Others promote greater inhibition of fermentation in the hindgut. Let's see. What else? Also, they found that liquid fats, liquid fats resulted in a larger quantity of fat entering the cecum. And then once it reached the cecum, it was not able to be digested. Undigestible. They go on to say that these studies have been done more extensively in cows and other ruminants, but they are assuming that the same events occur in the hindgut of horses. Now, in other sections in the book, they talk about how adding boluses of fat like that don't have to go through the breakdown process that a normal ingested food particle would, also detract from other minerals. So while yes, you can take a metabolic horse, take away sugars and starches and replace it with literally any kind of fat that you want, and that horse's metabolic issues will get better. But in the long run, you are taking away from nutrients, particularly vitamins and minerals, but also the other micronutrients that food provides, that forage provides, And you're wrecking the gut microbiome with the parts of the oil that are not digestible. Hopefully that helps you to understand. I don't do this to like argue. Like I said, if I were to scroll past somebody and they were like, I feed my horse corn and I pour soy oil on top of it, I'm going to scroll right by. I put this information out here so that you can absorb the information and like review, either research further, review what you're doing with your horse and decide like, is this something I should change? Should I try this change? Is my horse having a problem? You know, all of those things. It's not to like create drama. So it's never ceases to amaze me how the drama is created. So like, my goodness.